Coordinates 32 degrees 00 and 35 degrees 15, A, 32.000 degrees north, 35.250 degrees east, 32.000, 35.250 Palestine and Gaza Strip with Jerusalem as the designated capital. Although its administrative center is currently located in Ramallah, the entirety of territory claimed by the State of Palestine has been occupied since 1948. First by Egypt and Jordan and then by Israel after the Six-Day War in 1967. Palestine has a population of 5,051,953 as of February 2020. Ranked 121st in the world. After World War II, in 1947, the UN adopted a partition plan for mandatory Palestine recommending the creation of independent Arab and Jewish states and an internationalized Jerusalem. This partition plan was accepted by the Jews but rejected by the Arabs. The day after the establishment of a Jewish state in Eretz Israel, to be known as the State of Israel on the 14th of May 1948, neighboring Arab armies invaded the former British Mandate and fought the Israeli forces. Later, the All-Palestine government was established by the Arab League on the 22nd of September 1948 to govern the Egyptian-controlled enclave in Gaza. It was soon recognized by all Arab League members except Transjordan, though jurisdiction of the government was declared to cover the whole of the former mandatory Palestine. Its effective jurisdiction was limited to the Gaza Strip. Israel later captured the Gaza Strip and the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the West Bank from Jordan, and the Golan Heights from Syria in June 1967 during the Six-Day War. On 15 November 1988 in Algiers, Yasser Arafat, chairman of the Palestine Liberation Organization, proclaimed the establishment of the State of Palestine. A year after the signing of the Oslo Accords in 1993, the Palestinian National Authority was formed to govern the areas A and B in the West Bank, comprising 165 islands, and the Gaza Strip. Gaza would later be governed by Hamas in 2007. 2 years after the Israeli disengagement from Gaza, the State of Palestine is recognized by 138 UN members and since 2012 has a status of a non-member observer state in the United Nations. Palestine is a member of the Arab League, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the G77, the International Olympic Committee, and other international bodies. Since the British Mandate, the term Palestine has been associated with the geographical area that currently covers the State of Israel, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. General use of the term Palestine, or related terms to the area at the southeast corner of the Mediterranean Sea beside Syria has historically been taking place since the times of ancient Greece, with Herodotus being the first historian writing in the 5th century BC in the histories of a district of Syria called Palestine, in which Phoenicians interacted with other maritime peoples. The term Palestine is thought to have been a term coined by the ancient Greeks for the area of land occupied by the Philistines, although there are other explanations. This article uses the terms Palestine, State of Palestine, Occupied Palestinian Territory interchangeably depending on context. Specifically, the term Occupied Palestinian Territory refers as a whole to the geographical area of the Palestinian territory occupied by Israel since 1967. In all cases, any references to land or territory refer to land claimed by the State of Palestine. In 1947, the UN adopted a partition plan for a two-state solution in the remaining territory of the Mandate. The plan was accepted by the Jewish leadership but rejected by the Arab leaders, and Britain refused to implement the plan. On the eve of final British withdrawal, the Jewish Agency for Israel declared the establishment of the State of Israel according to the proposed UN plan. The Arab Higher Committee did not declare a state of its own and instead, together with Transjordan, Egypt, and the other members of the Arab League of the time, commenced military action resulting in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. During the war, Israel gained additional territories that were designated to be part of the Arab state under the UN plan. Egypt occupied the Gaza Strip and Transjordan occupied and then annexed the West Bank. Egypt initially supported the creation of an all-Palestine government, but disbanded it in 1959. Transjordan never recognized it and instead decided to incorporate the West Bank with its own territory to form Jordan. The annexation was ratified in 1950 but was rejected by the international community. The Six-Day War in 1967, when Israel fought against Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, ended with Israel occupying the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, besides other territories. In 1964, when the West Bank was controlled by Jordan, the Palestine Liberation Organization was established there with the goal to confront Israel. The Palestinian National Charter of the PLO defines the boundaries of Palestine as the whole remaining territory of the Mandate, including Israel. Following the Six-Day War, the PLO moved to Jordan, but later relocated